Welcome, stressed parents, to this explainer. Look, if you're exhausted, running on empty, and maybe feeling a little guilty about how you handled this morning's meltdown, just take a deep breath. You are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to unpack a highly practical, step-by-step toolkit for handling those daily meltdowns. And we're going to do it without the guilt, without the yelling, and definitely without the bribes. So let's just dive right into it. We really need to start by validating that breaking point we have absolutely all reached. You know the exact moment, right? It's after the fourth tantrum of the morning. There's cereal everywhere. They are screaming because you gave them the blue cup instead of the red one, and you just snap. When nothing seems to work, our patience just completely evaporates and we lose our cool. It is entirely, 100% human. But here's the critical question we have to ask ourselves. Why does yelling only make the screaming worse? We're posing this question right up front because we really need to shift our mindset here. We've got to move from pure frustration to genuine curiosity about what is actually happening inside our child's brain and our own during these explosive moments. To get us to that place of understanding, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the breaking point, decode the nervous system, look at a prevention-first approach, learn how to stay calm mid-meltdown, explore connection and boundaries, and finally, learn how to repair after the storm. Okay, section 1, the breaking point, when yelling fails. Let's be honest, we don't yell because we want to. We yell because in that moment, we just don't know what else to do. But the problem is, yelling doesn't actually stop the tantrum. It usually makes the kids scream louder, they dig their heels in harder, and then everyone ends up in tears, leaving us parents just drowning in guilt. It's a vicious cycle, and it helps absolutely no one. Which brings us to section 2, the nervous system. What's really happening? It is incredibly helpful to completely reframe how we view this behavior. A tantrum is not calculated manipulation. It's not them trying to get you. It is literally your child's nervous system short-circuiting due to emotional overload. It is not an act of defiance. They might be tired, they might be hungry, overwhelmed by too much stimulation, or maybe they just lack the words to tell you what they need. If you can just remember that a tantrum is essentially a blown fuse, everything changes. Because once you understand this nervous system response, you can stop fighting bad behavior and start responding to a signal. You're no longer in this adversarial battle with a disobedient child. Instead, you become a calm guide, helping an overloaded nervous system find its way back to baseline. Moving on to section 3, prevention first, stopping the storm. Often, we completely miss the hidden triggers that set our kids up for failure in the first place. Transitions without warning, those are a massive trigger. Moving abruptly from playing with blocks straight to bath time just feels chaotic to them. Too many choices will easily overwhelm them. A lack of routine removes their basic sense of safety. But honestly, the most fascinating trigger is parent stress. Our kids are like little emotional sponges. They directly mirror our own parental tension. If we're stressed out, they are stressed out. So, the goal here is to employ active prevention tactics. Give a really clear warning before transitions. A simple 5 more minutes, then bath works wonders. Lean heavily on predictable routines so they always know what's coming next. Offer very limited choices. Ask red shirt or blue shirt instead of what do you want to wear today. And please never underestimate the power of planning snacks to avoid that dreaded hangry meltdown. Doing all this creates the predictable safety our kids' nervous systems crave. All right, section 4, staying calm, mid-meltdown mastery. When your child starts screaming, your body reacts instantly. Think about it. Your heart races. Your voice naturally rises. Every biological instinct tells you to shut that noise down immediately. But reacting to their chaos with your own chaos, that just adds gasoline to the fire. Your calm is literally your ultimate superpower here. To actually harness that superpower, you need to treat your own emotional regulation like an emergency protocol. When the screaming starts, step 1, breathe. Literally count to 3 in your head before you even open your mouth. Step 2, lower your voice. This actually forces them to quiet down just to hear you. Step 3, step back physically. Give yourself a little space before engaging. And step 4, repeat a calming phrase to yourself. And that calming phrase is simple. This is communication, not defiance. This is the mantra you've got to repeat in your head on a loop. It keeps you grounded. It reminds you that they aren't giving you a hard time. They are having a hard time. Staying completely calm and anchored is the only possible way you become capable of helping your child regulate. Let's look at section 5, connection and bounds, safe harbor.
When you're right in the middle of the storm, avoid lecturing, do not try to argue logic, and skip the threats. A mid-meltdown brain is offline. It physically cannot process logic or those, if you don't stop right now, no TV threats. Instead, focus on staying nearby and calm. Acknowledge their feelings. Use very short, simple phrases like, I'm here, you're safe. They just need you to be a safe harbor while the storm passes.
Now, being a safe harbor and showing empathy absolutely does not mean giving in to whatever they want. Boundaries are still entirely necessary. You just calmly state what is not okay. For example, we don't hit. Then immediately redirect the action. You can stomp your feet on the floor instead. And most importantly, you follow through calmly every single time. It's that consistency that actually builds their feeling of safety.
Finally, Section 6, repairing after, reconnecting.
You want to follow these really simple, brief steps to reconnect once the tears have finally stopped. First, offer a physical reset, like a hug. Second, talk briefly about what happened, but without lecturing. Just validate it. You were really mad when we had to leave the park. And finally, end on a positive note. Maybe read a book or draw together. Doing this teaches your child an invaluable lesson. Conflict does not break your relationship. Your love is unconditional, even when they lose control. Ultimately, I want you to remember this. Tantrums aren't proof that you're failing as a parent. They're proof your child is learning how to handle big emotions, and you are their guide. When you actively choose connection over control and calm over bribes, you are teaching your child emotional skills that will literally last them a lifetime. To make sure you can put this into practice right away, here's your actionable checklist. Identify your child's top 3 triggers. Start adding that 5-minute transition warning today. Practice naming feelings out loud. Make a conscious effort to lower your voice when tensions rise. And always, always reconnect after a conflict. So, I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. Tomorrow morning, when the cereal spills and they get the wrong colored cup, what will you do? Will you join the chaos, or will you take a breath, lower your voice, and be the calm? Challenge yourself to use these tools and become that steady anchor your child desperately needs during their next storm. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.